I want to bring up our first speaker tonight. She's running for Superintendent of Schools, Heidi Maier. Heidi.
Goodness, thank you. Thank you. Hello, everybody. I'm Dr. Heidi Maier, and with your help, I'll be the next superintendent of Marion County Public Schools. Before I start, though, I have to be a proud mom, and I'd like to introduce my son, Jack. Well, thank you. Jack recently graduated from Lake Weir High School, and he will be leaving that first weekend of August to go up to Canton, Ohio. He'll be attending Walsh University on an academic and football scholarship. I also would like to share that Jack is one of only 20 national finalists for the NFL Hall of Fame scholarship, and we will find out that weekend at the Hall of Fame game if he has won that scholarship. So please watch. It'll be on ESPN or something fabulous. All I know is I get to meet a lot of Steelers, so I don't know how, if I'm more excited about that or about Jack getting the scholarship. But it's nice for you to finally meet him because I've shared with you so much about him, and he's my pride and joy. He's my pride and joy. So again, thank you for this opportunity. Thank you so much, Mr. Pullis. But again, I'm Dr. Heidi Maier, and my professional career has been extensive in the education world. My associate's degree was earned here at the College of Central Florida. My bachelor's degree was earned in Lawton, Oklahoma at Cameron University, where my husband was in the military. I earned a bachelor's degree in elementary ed. We traveled overseas, had the Wonder Boy, came back, settled here with family, and I went on to earn my advanced degrees. I've got a master's degree in pre-K primary education, a specialist degree in early reading, and then my doctorate is in early childhood education. So certainly, I have the academic qualifications to lead our district and to inspire these students to read on level, proficiently, which has not been the case recently. Not only that, will they be reading proficiently, they're going to love to read, because to me there is no greater joy than to learn to love to read and to snuggle with a good book. I was a classroom teacher here in Marion County. I taught pre-K and kindergarten. Then I went on to work at the Florida Department of Education, where I helped start the voluntary pre-kindergarten program with the state of Florida. While I was at the Florida Department of Education, I saw how things like Common Core can happen. And I still have those life lessons with me. After leaving Tallahassee, we returned here, and I taught at the college and university level, and I'm currently at the College of Central Florida, where I teach teachers. So my students graduate ready to assume the duties of a classroom teacher. They're ready to obtain certification in pre-K primary education, which is age 3 to grade 3. They have a pre-K disability endorsement. They have endorsements in reading and English for speakers of other languages. They're very highly qualified. And I tell them all to go to Citrus County, where they let you be a teacher and they don't micromanage you. Now my platform is communication, reorganization, and reallocation. As you may have heard the famous Dr. Wayne Dyer say, problems cannot be solved by the minds who have created them. My plan, my first thing that I'm going to do, is bring in my deputy superintendent from a high-performing district who's going to help us look at things here with fresh eyes, fresh vision, and will help us stop our race to the bottom. A few years ago, about 3 years ago, we were 44th out of 67 school districts. We're currently 57th out of 67 school districts. We don't have far to go to the race to the bottom. We have to stop. We have to stop now, and we will, August 30th. For decades, our county has simply been recycling bad ideas, and now, more than ever, school grades came out today. So per the Florida Department of Education, not some fancy website you think I may find, at midnight when I can't sleep, we need a change, and we're going to have it. We've got to stop. I've shared how I've grown professionally, and now I want to take a moment and share with you a personal life lesson that has inspired me and shaped me, the person I am today standing in front of you. Back in 2008, our country, our county, our state experienced one of the worst recessions since the Great Depression. And I know it touched your life as well, one way or the other. Overnight, our household income dropped about 75%. Unlike many, though, our family refused to take the easy way out and walk away. Instead, we stayed with our home, and the only option we had at that time was to do a debt reorganization. And sadly, I came out of that experience as a single mom, but with the greatest boy ever. Using the only tool I had, my education, I personally paid back our bills, and I saved our home for my son and I. But you know, so many in this county, in this country, didn't have the education I had, and they didn't have anything to fall back on. In this county, many could not fall back on an education, graduated from this county. They weren't college bound. They hadn't been trained for a vocation, and they were left. They were left to sink, and they're still in turmoil. And I'm sure many people you know are like that as well. I, on the other hand, I was a fortunate victim of one of the worst experiences in our American history. And had I not received that great education, I would not have survived. We would not have. I want the children, the 43,000 children that I will inherit in August, to likewise have what I have, what Jack has. And that is an education that, when life throws them lemons, they'll be able to make the sweetest lemonade ever. Life will never, ever be the same for me. But you know what? It has allowed me to be here in front of you today, and it has given me the strength to lead our county. And I'm going to inspire every one of these 43,000 children to do what I did, to stick with it, to have grit, and to never, ever use the word can't again. Today, as I mentioned, school grades came out. So, direct from the Department of Education and not a fancy website you may or may not give credence to. And I have score reports here that I will leave for you to investigate. When we look at our reading scores, and I'm going to read directly off the notes I've taken so that there is no misinterpretation. If we look at our reading scores, we have 30 elementary schools. 4 years ago in reading, only 8 schools show improvement in proficiency, while 21 of our 30 schools, the majority of them declined by double digits. Okay. We had 0 double-digit improvements in the few schools that did improve. Math. In math, 24 of our 30 schools declined in proficiency compared to the state average, and of those, a majority declined double digits. Only 5 improved. Again, no double-digit improvement. Again, school grades. If you look at school grades for this year, statewide, you can look at a couple years ago, and they're about the same. Because remember, last year we had nothing. We had no way to show growth because we had this new assessment. Well, this is the second year, and we have dropped. We have dropped from B to C. Even with our inflated, incorrect graduation rates, that didn't help. Incorrect graduation rates that our current superintendent admitted, the numbers were a little off, and at the recent school board meeting said, you know, at this point, what difference does it make? Well, I would like you to help me show it makes a big difference. It makes a big difference. And my friends, With that, I thank you, and I humbly ask for your vote. I'm Dr. Heidi Maier, and I will be the next superintendent of Marion County Public Schools. Thank you.